So I basically read almost all nonfiction, but every once in a while a fiction book will come across that I find that is really good. And the entire thing, it's the weirdest premise. I can't explain it to anybody because
Ishmael is the book.
Ishmael. I can't explain it to anybody because it's literally a guy in a corporate office who walks in and there's a gorilla behind a piece of glass. And the gorilla is all-knowing and wise, and this guy walks in. The reason this guy walks in is because there's an ad. It basically just says, teacher looking for pupil. And the guy just walks into a corporate office, and there's literally a gorilla behind a piece of glass. And the guy comes and visits every so often, and he comes back, and the gorilla is like all-knowing and wise. He talks about the levers and takers. We now, as humans, are takers. That we have, over-industrialized the planet, and talks a lot about the wisdom of how, more like Native Americans lived, where it was more like a symbiotic relationship with the...
One with the earth.
One with the earth, and it's just, how we kind of, humanity's lost its way. And I'm kind of a turbo nerd, so I enjoy that kind of stuff. So, but when I explain that to anybody, it doesn't go over well, because they're like, there's a gorilla behind a piece of glass. What are you talking about? So that was a book that I really liked, and if people are saying they look for a book recommendation from me, I'm usually saying, they're like, but yeah, we don't want like a business, like I don't want like a nonfiction book, so that's like kind of my go-to.
So you give them this fiction book to help them expand their thinking.
It's just something that, I'm a big...
Sounds like a mindset book.
Well, it kind of is. I mean, I enjoy giving books, and if somebody's just like, oh God, please don't give me a nonfiction book, that's the book I give. And it's something that I think is interesting and thought-provoking. There's a lot of just really bad fiction out there.
Millions of books are published a year, and a lot of them shouldn't be, what is it? They're all, not all books are created equal.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. So I thought it was a really interesting book. I know that it's not something a lot of people have read either. I mean, it's kind of out on the street, but...
It's like a cult classic.
Yeah, kind of.
If you were to, one takeaway from Ishmael, the book with the gorilla behind the glass and levers and takers.
Sure.
What's the one piece of advice that you got from it that you
give? The way we lead life now is absurd. It's absurd. It's deprived. it's deprived. We're no happier than we were. It's filled with just too much stuff, just overabundance of everything. And yeah, we're generally healthier, we live longer, sure, but the rat race and the way we structure our societies is kind of absurd. And we're not, the reason I believe that we aren't any happier is because we're not wired for this kind of, the way that we sucks up. This 9 to 5, 40-hour work week going out.
Level, yeah.
The meritocracy, you gotta get through school, and then you gotta get through college, and you gotta go out, and you gotta make money, you gotta, put money into a 401k.
Keep jumping hoops.
Keep jumping through hoops, and, put stressors on relationships, and I don't think we're really necessarily wired for it. Maybe one day we'll adapt to it, but that is the main takeaway I got. It's just, it kind of peels away the onion of just kind of the absurdity.
Did this book help you get clear on who you are and what you want in life?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I've always been a cynic and a skeptic of, like, I've always driven my mother crazy because I, always ask why, like, things are this way. And my father was always very good at explaining to me, like, trying to explain to me, like, curious young man, like, kind of why things were the way they were. But I've always kind of rejected the mainstream, if you will.
Outline.